I just have a few things to say before wading into the music of this Part 10. I have played the piano professionally and by ear for 67 years. I have several thousand songs stored somewhere in my head, and I guarantee you that every one of those songs was learned in one of two ways. Either by reading simple music to reach the magic starting point, or by using my imaginary piano to listen my way to the magic starting point. That is exactly what I have done, one way or the other, with every song that I play for 67 years. You simply must get to the magic starting point in the key of C, and until you do, you are basically helpless. It is the key to playing by ear. With the imaginary piano, you have a wonderful new tool to get to that magic starting point. It has been my primary tool for many years. To perfect the use of your imaginary piano, you must first focus on the list of 35 basic chords, 8.1. Don't worry about the inversions because you will learn those when you need them. Your ultimate goal is to recognize the sound of every category of chords. Thankfully, there are really only three categories: the major chords, the minor chords, and the passing chords, or what I call passing chords. The three basic major chords are C, F, and G. By simply adding the sixth, the major seventh, or the ninth, those chords and all of their inversions are still just major chords. It's the same for the minor chords. C minor, F minor, and G minor are all improved by adding the sixth, the major seventh, or the ninth, and all of those and their inversions are still just minor chords. As you learn to play the basic chords, focus on the sound of each of them. Finally, there are the passing chords. They rarely begin or end a song, but they play a huge role in creating every song. The seventh chords and the minor seventh chords are all passing chords. The remaining passing chords are the augmented and diminished chords. Even without their inversions, you have enough chords to play thousands of songs. When you are able to identify the sound of chords enough to put them in one of those three categories, you will discover that your imaginary piano is now worth its weight in gold. Except for complicated songs, you will be able to reach the magic starting point of countless songs purely by listening, and you will already be in the key of C when you finish. No written music whatsoever. Watch Part 9 again. It tells you exactly how to use your imaginary piano. Once you have reached the magic starting point of any song, everything you do with that song is simply creating by ear. Everything that you do to that song belongs to you and no one else on this earth. And that is the ultimate magic and joy of playing by ear. So what more can I do for you? In Part 9, I did my best to take a single song, the beautiful feather theme in the movie Forrest Gump, from the magic starting point to my version of the finished product, one step at a time. At each step, I tried to add just one new improvement until I finally reached my finished product. Demonstrating the evolution of the feather theme, one step at a time, was really hard for me to do and consumed a lot of Part 9. Today, I am going to do several songs playing the magic starting point first, while describing the basic chords. Then, I will jump straight to my finished product. The feather theme in Part 9 is the only step-by-step demonstration of the evolution of a song that you should ever need. Now there'll be a short pause. The first song is called Wind Beneath My Wings. It was written by Jeff Silbar and Larry Henley in 1982 and first performed by singer Roger Whittaker. Like the feather theme, it is a simple and beautiful little song. Remember that when I say only C or F, or some other single letter, it means that the major chord of that note and scale, most of the chords are on your 8.1 list, but if they're not, such as the G11th in this song, please don't panic. Just count to 11 in the G scale and substitute that note for the 7th. Here's the magic starting point of that song. C, F, C, F, D minor, G7th, D minor, G7th, C, F, C, F, D minor, G7th, D minor, G7th, A minor, F, E minor, A minor, F, G7th, E minor, A minor, F, G7th, E minor, A minor, D minor, G7th. That's the simplest way that you can play that song. And until you reach that point, you can't really start creating anything of your own. Remember in part 9 that one of my first additions to the basic feather theme was harmonies, which is pairing one additional note with the melody using the right hand. Watch how I use them in this song. There are also a lot of additions, such as the 6ths and 7ths, and lots of integrated chords. And here is my version of Wind Beneath My Wings. The next one is a jazz song in a bossa nova rhythm introduced as an instrumental in 1967 by its composer Antonio Carlos Jobim. Because it is jazz, it is a lot more complicated with unlisted chords. All of them are in the bridge, which is the third of 4 segments in the song. To figure out an unlisted chord, use the same numerical notes of that same chord in a key that you already know. As an example, you already know that a basic major chord in any key is the 1st, 3rd, and 5th notes of the major scale of that key. That works for every major chord. You can also find an identical chord that you already know and just move your fingers up or down the keyboard to the unlisted chord. Since you know how to play a D major chord with your left hand, every note of a D flat major chord is only a half step away down the keyboard. and that's how you can deal with the unlisted chords. So here is the simple version of wave. C minor, F seventh, C, F diminished, G minor seventh, C seventh, F minor, B flat seventh, A seventh, D seventh, D flat, C minor, C, F diminished, G minor seventh, C seventh, F minor, B flat seventh, A seventh, D seventh, D flat, C minor, F seventh, F minor seventh, B flat seventh, E flat, E flat minor seventh, A seventh, D flat, C, F diminished, G minor seventh, C seventh, F minor, B flat seventh, A seventh, D seventh, D flat, C minor, F seventh, C minor, F seventh. Now, here is my version of wave. The next song is one of my favorites because it demonstrates how you can take one song and play it three very different ways and enjoy every one of them. It was written by a musical genius, Quincy Jones, as the theme song of a really terrible 1967 movie called Banning. The movie should have been voted the worst of 1967, but the song deserved to be and was nominated for the Academy Award for the Best Original Song of that year. It's called The Eyes of Love, and this is the magic starting point. C. A seventh, D minor, A seventh, D minor, C diminished, E minor seventh, C seventh, F, F minor, E minor seventh, B minor seventh, E seventh, A minor, D seventh, D minor seventh, E minor seventh, F major, G seventh, C, A seventh, D minor seventh, A seventh, D minor, C diminished, E minor seventh, G minor seventh, C seventh, F, F minor, E minor seventh, A seventh, D minor seventh, G 11th, C, and that's as far down as you can reduce that song. That's the magic starting point. Just the simple chords and the simple single note melody. Now, here are the fascinating variations of the song. I did not invent these. I stole them from Quincy Jones because he presented the song in all of these ways in the movie. Since it is a love song, the first version is a ballad. The second version is much faster, and I guess it's called a foxtrot. The last version is a form of Latin rhythm. I'm presenting this to show you the incredible ways that you can start at a magic starting point and go in many different but equally wonderful directions. So here are all three versions of The Eyes of Love. Faster version. Now the next two songs demonstrate how you can start at the simple magic starting point and create a vivid mental image surrounding the song. In both cases, the mental image surrounds the setting of the song. This first one is from another musical genius, Peter Nero, a wonderful nightclub and jazz pianist who became the conductor of the Philly Pops from 1979 to 2013, and that's a long time. In this case, the setting of the song was a church marriage, and his introduction immediately puts you in front of a cathedral in the first 8 beats. So here's my version of Peter Nero's incredible rendition of the song, Get Me to the Church on Time, from the stage musical My Fair Lady of 1956 and the movie of 1964. It was written by Lerner Loewe and was based on the play Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. I learned it using my imaginary piano. I'm going to skip the magic starting point in this one. The song only has 10 simple basic chords, and it's also in the key of G. That's why I'm skipping the magic starting point. And forgive me if I mess it up. I don't have 1% of Peter Nero's skill, and I frequently mess this song up when I play it because his abilities are over my head. Here's Get Me to the Church on Time. And that should have taken you to a church instantly from the very beginning. This last one is my own humble creation, and I think it's the only song that I ever arranged where the style of the arrangement actually attempted to portray the setting of a song. The 1960 movie is a love story about an American architect turned artist and a beautiful Chinese prostitute, and it is set in Hong Kong. I was 17 years old when it was released. I loved the movie, and I loved this wonderful theme song. It is a very simple song, and I don't think that it was presented in the movie as I later arranged it and now play it. But here is the magic starting point of the theme song to The World of Susie Wong. It is quite short. C, D minor 7th, C, A minor 7th, E 7th, E minor 7th, A 7th, F, E 7th, A minor, D 7th, A minor 7th, D 7th, D minor 7th, G 11th, C, D minor 7th, C, A minor 7th, E minor 7th, A 7th, F, E 7th, A minor, D 7th, D minor 7th, G 11th, C. That's as basic as you can get. Now this is my version, hoping to put the listener at least somewhere in the Orient. And it is almost as simple as the Magic Starting Point version, so don't expect anything spectacular like Get Me to Church on Time. Here's the Oriental version. That's just one feeble demonstration of what you can do with a song once you reach the magic starting point. With Susie Wong, I simply watched the movie several times, and as I watched it, I shut my eyes and played it on my imaginary piano. Then I sat down at my real piano and went to work, and it's challenging and wonderful work. I hope that all of you will do the same. The rewards are absolutely amazing. I have one request of everyone who has reached this point in the program and who believes that it has been and will continue to be worth the effort. For this program to survive and make the world a better place, it needs to be used. When I look back at the entire effort, and especially the new introduction in parts 1.1 and 1.2, which all three were for true beginners, I honestly believe that I created a complete musical training program for parents who have chosen to homeschool and truly bond with their children. My request is simple. Please spread the word of this free program to every teenager, adult, and homeschooling parent that you know. It will change their lives for the better. And thank you for your efforts. I have one hope for everyone who has made it this far. Early in part 2, I told everyone exactly why I keep trying to entertain people with my music. It has never been for money, and it has never been for applause. It has been for one reason only: to see another human being shed a tear in response to a song that I am playing. Why is that so important? It's important because I know that I have touched that person very deeply, and there is no greater reward in life. That is my hope for every one of you, that someday in your future, you will experience the incredible joy of seeing a tear on the face of one of your listeners. When you do, you will remember that moment for the rest of your life, and you will smile. So I offer my best wishes, and since today is Thanksgiving 2024, I also wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.